We're back again. Reset. I don't know what the fuck happened with my goddamn Streamlabs, but I fixed it. It seems so. Let's take it from the top. Take two. All right, Mr. Warren, you got the floor.
Professor Dave responded and made a video.
Title of this video is Warren Smith is Dumb.
I don't think he realizes the game that he's playing. He's making a wild claim here.
Wild
Tomorrow,
claim.
if I decide I am a woman, is that grounded in biology?
Right off the bat, he's fixating on a singular graphic from my first video because it was less precise than I would have liked it to be. Rather than neurochemistry,
So are you trying to get at him for focusing on something that you didn't do to the fullest extent that you could have? Because that's an L on your part.
I should have more strongly stressed the concept of neuroanatomy. So not just brain chemistry, but brain structure.
So their brain is not the same as the average brain. Think about the statement that you're making.
When he asks if he can just decide to be a woman, this is a profoundly stupid thing to say for two reasons. First, trans people don't decide to be trans. They're born that way because of the manner in which their brain develops in utero.
Everyone who is trans has a brain defect according to you. You're discounting any psychological factors.
Deciding to be a woman means nothing because trans women do not decide to be trans.
I mean, you're making vast generalizations about all trans people.
You and
Yeah, very vast generalizations because I feel like this person sees every trans identifying person as a trans person and kind of not separating the trans trenders, right? Like those who just do it for the aesthetic, like Lily Tino. I guess Lily Tino has done surgeries and stuff, but like they're definitely doing it for the aesthetic. Like let's be completely frank here, right? Same with Dylan Mulvaney. But I'm thinking more so like the people on TikTok, like just with the randoms you see every day. Like there's a difference between like trans people and trans trenders. You can feel the difference. Like Blair White's a trans person. The rainbow hair over there is not like to the core, right? Is what I'm talking about.
and all your Daily Wire heroes are denying the concept of transness altogether. And all your Daily Wire
I mean, you're making vast generalizations about all trans people.
You and all your Daily Wire heroes are denying the concept of
How is Warren like a fan of the Daily Wire, or are you just saying that because they both have the same like perspective on you being wrong?
transness altogether and pretending it's some kind of mental illness or psychopathy.
There's no pretending that it's some kind of mental illness. It is a mental illness. What do you mean? Gender dysphoria is a mental illness. Is it not?
It could be a number of things. To claim that it's because of the structure of their brain is different than the typical brain. Play this game if you want, man.
If they feel
Yeah,
like they weigh
right.
300 pounds and they objectively weigh 100 pounds, that's not the same thing as gender identity, which occurs.
Isn't it still a false perception of oneself? Either bulimia or anorexia or like one of those. Other way, it's like a psychological fuck up in your brain, right? That makes you see yourself not as you are, or believe yourself to be something that you're not. That you're not, like either skinny or big, right? I remember a American Dad did an episode on this. Actually, it was actually a pretty good episode. I might post some clips from that.
If they feel like they weigh 300 pounds and they objectively weigh 100 pounds, that's not the same thing as gender identity, which occurs exclusively in the brain.
Then how can it
How is having a false perception of yourself not exclusively in your brain? If you're looking in a mirror and you see yourself fat but you're skinny, if you look in the mirror and you see yourself a woman but a man, or a man but a woman, is that not the same thing? Aside from this being weight, this being gender, that's the difference, and the only difference. Psychologically, it's the same effect.
be biology? Is biology not objectively real?
Yes, biology is real, and perhaps one day we will reach a point where we can identify transness with a brain scan. Right now, we can't.
Then how do you know any of this stuff that you're making claims
Exactly.
about brain deformity and having a different anatomical.
You know, I don't mean to cut you off, but that reminded me of that style of argument is being used a lot from their side. Like, not just like, oh, we'll one day we'll find this. Like, they keep saying that keep hearing that there's no conclusive evidence of harm being done to these children as they get older, like through prolonged exposure of the drugs and the castration and like the surgeries and shit. They're always tout saying like there's no conclusive evidence of harm, but like if there's no conclusive evidence, then why keep doing it? You know what I mean? Maybe we should stop and see how this group grows up, and then we can maybe see what happens. But you keep adding more and more and more and more and more. It's like they're fucking guinea pigs.
Structure than the typical brain if we can't scan for these things.
That we aren't yet at the place where we can do a scan of someone's brain and conclusively identify the structures that make them trans doesn't mean that transness somehow isn't real or just as rooted in physical reality as those other things.
The transness isn't real. No one's transness is real in the terms of a concept, right? In terms of what happens in someone's brain, transness isn't really a physical thing unless you like make it happen, right?
So now it is rooted in physical reality.
Oh, so you did find it, and yet you chose to whine about it anyway.
That's the whole point of why I'm examining this, because I think this is a crazy statement to make, to claim that all trans people are trans because of essentially a physical abnormality.
When have I ever claimed transness was not rooted in physical reality? I'll give you a hint, absolutely never. And I'm the one debunking you by explaining how it is rooted in neuroanatomy, which is part of physical reality.
I could have sworn I heard you earlier.
Can I identify as Chinese if I'm white? No, your genome and birthplace exist in external reality.
So if your genome and birthplace exist in external reality, why can't your gender? Because gender, like, it's kind of like a language, right? It's something that's learned or adopted. No one's born speaking Spanish, you know?
I'm white? No, your genome and birthplace exist in external reality.
I see a logical contradiction here, though.
No, you're just stupid.
So according to you,
God,
anyone who does not have this physical brain that you have identified cannot be trans.
Your gender identity is based on brain structure. You have to work really hard to still not get it after I explained it in 3 videos.
Because he's already put himself in this corner.
Just because you explained it in 3 videos doesn't make it any less retarded.
Still not get it after I explained it in 3 videos.
Because he's already put himself in this corner, so he just doubles down on this.
This masculinization or feminization takes place in utero before you are born.
So there's no form of feminization outside of the womb. Okay.
Holy shit, you're bad at this. Let me know when you're ready to talk about anything I've said.
I'm ready to talk. You lay out these 4 categories, but then you say we can't use these 4 categories.
What in the sweet fuck are you talking about? Where in my explanation of what these 4 categories mean did I tell you not to use these categories?
When you called it callous and lacking empathy.
One could make the case that this is a defensible position. It is one that acknowledges every aspect of the science we described.
Okay.
It is a strictly semantic position, though undoubtedly one that is callous and lacking empathy.
In that video, my point was, fine, let's do that. But you're taking it a step further, and you say, what step further? You have this scientist on Piers Morgan. When he does that very thing, you attack him. And this is an example of a biologist who disagrees with you.
They can say they're a woman, and I will respect their self-identification to the extent of using she and their preferred pronouns.
And yet it's still not enough.
Yes, it's not enough to pretend to be respectful towards trans people while you are spewing buckets of transphobic propaganda on a large television program.
That fits into the sponsor of today's video, Ground News. Ground News is an app and website that lets you compare perspectives on any topic with full transparency on the political bias, financial incentives, and credibility behind the headlines.
To be fair,
whatever the debate shaping our lives is, the narratives we hear
anything
can shape
speaking
what we
out
think
against
before we've even had
the
chance
trans
to
agenda is
question what critical
transphobic to
thinking
this
is all
individual.
about.
So like,
thinking for oneself to
The
navigate.
trans person
the
could probably
stories
say
and
that
the
the sky
patterns
is
that
blue,
make
and
up
if you
the world.
disagree, you're
You see
transphobic.
the differences in these
I
stories.
could totally see him
through
making
the
that
lens of the
argument.
media. Follow your favorite
Or
topics,
them.
or simply paste
They
any
sound like a
article
them.
link in their search bar to find the full coverage on heated issues and swipe between perspectives to form your own opinion based on all the facts. Ground News was designed to give you back control over your thoughts. That's why they created their blind spot feed, one of the most important things to check before trying to have constructive dialogue with people who think differently than you. Go to
great idea.
ground.news/Smith or scan the QR code on the screen.
might just
Viewers
do
get the
that.
top tier Vantage plan for just $5 a month. So it's a handy tool. How best to navigate those stories. That's where Ground News comes in.
You're not faking it for a following. I'm pretty sure you really are this stupid.
Then why did you claim it was
I know you're acting confused for show to make it seem like I'm being unclear or contradictory, but it's moot because, as I've already said multiple times, you aren't acknowledging or contradicting. I know you're acting confused for.
See, now, I've been watching Warren ever since the whole J.K. Rowling thing happened. And when he does this thing right here, this thinking thing, he's not like acting confused. I can see why you would say that, but if you watched him long enough, he's not acting anything. He's just thinking in real time.
Show to make it seem like I'm being unclear or contradictory, but it's moot because, as I've already said multiple times, you aren't acknowledging what I'm saying about sex and gender identity.
in my video I acknowledge we'll use your 4 categories. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Sex refers to male and female, and let's go with your gender identity is whatever you choose. Fine.
Sex refers to male and female. Yes, we can be of male or female sex. Gender identity can also be referred to as male or female, and we don't choose it.
So no one chooses their gender identity.
Oh, that's a false
Got
statement.
it. Okay.
These idiots and their followers are always having a never-ending argument with a position that nobody expresses. I know you're
There's a never-ending argument because you don't live in reality. See, the thing is, Warren's too smart for this conversation. He's entirely too smart for this conversation because he'll pick up on the little things and you'll bitch and moan about that little thing and then just keep saying what you're saying over and over again as if it's true. See, that's what a lot of people in these camp do. Like, you watch these like TikTok people back a couple years ago. They would all the content be just the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Right? It's almost like indoctrination.
acting confused for show to make it seem like I'm being unclear or contradictory, while in reality everyone is getting it but you. So you just sound
Who
genuinely
is everyone?
stupid.
I want to know who everyone is. If it's everyone in your audience, who cares? Like, who else is everybody? Because if your audience follows you, they already make bad decisions. Like, I want to know who everybody is that agrees on what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm just going to accept this as true, just to see where this takes us logically. Okay, let's do that.
Is it going to take us to you remaining a willfully ignorant douche nozzle who refuses?
He just said he's trying to listen to you and take your shit logically. He is trying to listen. Like, that's why I don't like it. You argue like a motherfucker from Twitter, bro. Like, he just said he's trying to listen to you and take you at your word and go down your train of thought. He's trying to meet you further than the middle. And you're still like, you fucking douche not. Oh my God, did you just graduate middle school? Like, Jesus Christ.
Accept this as true, just to see where this takes us logically. Okay, let's do that.
Is it going to take us to you remaining a willfully ignorant douche nozzle who refuses to learn anything no matter how clearly it's explained to you? Being trans doesn't depend on transitioning, genius. You are trans if your sex and gender identity do not align. It does not depend
So one could just claim that their sex and their gender identity don't align. You see how easy that was?
on your actions.
Oh, so now according to you, someone who has this brain structure but that chooses not to transition or be trans, they're still trans. I'm not identifying as trans. Put your brain as trans.
You are born trans, and at some point you choose to transition and alter your primary or secondary sexual characteristics.
Using these two as an example does nothing. Anyone can claim they've been trans for as long as ever. It does not matter what you claim, it matters what the physical truth is. Right? Your words mean nothing if we can dig into your bones and find out what your fucking DNA says.
To align with your gender identity, that doesn't change your status as a trans person.
This is the definition of an ideology, a movement to introduce this new use of language based on a set of ideas.
No, that's not what ideology means. This is what ideology means: a system of ideas and ideals, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy.
Especially. It doesn't mean that a set of ideas used to justify how we change our language is not an ideology. Oh, ideology doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad, but you can acknowledge that it is an ideology.
Kind of like your anti-trans ideology, which actually aims to harm trans people in an institutional manner. You
So what does this? What do you mean by harm? Right? Because like if it's your fifis, I don't give a shit.
aren't agreeing that a person can be of male sex and female gender identity, thus validating the biological basis of these two phenomena, and simply disagreeing with the choice of language.
See, this is the additional step where I still have issue. It's because you're claiming it's not enough to claim that they're a trans woman. No, they are a woman because woman is just a word that we made
Yeah,
up.
there's an extra
And then
step.
refusing to refer to trans women as women.
Why aren't these words good enough to say, okay, you're a trans woman? The problem is that you're taking it a step further.
What step further?
I mean, you're making this game
From trans woman to
impossible.
woman, because trans woman is not a woman. That's why trans woman's there in the first place. That's how it started. Don't pretend that it fucking didn't. And then after that got into the fucking society, they're like, no, now trans women are women. No, that's the step further. It's like you believe what you are talking about has existed forever, and it has not. That's why you're fucking retarded.
You're taking it a step further.
What step further?
I mean, you're making this game impossible to play and then calling me a transphobe.
They are not literally women.
Well, woman is a word we made up. What do you mean? Do you mean sex? Do you mean gender? Do you want to, should we make up a new word? Why is this so hard for you people to understand? Why are you still acting like this label of trans woman implies that their genitals and chromosomes suddenly transform into something else?
I never said
Yeah,
that.
you gotta cut them off.
Nobody will take you seriously until you stop fighting against this non-existent phantom and have an adult conversation.
Are you talking to yourself? Because I'm sure I'm not taking it seriously. You haven't said one smart thing yet. You veil your shit in, smart words and, pictures and diagrams and shit. But what you're talking about is retarded. So it doesn't matter how smart you say it, you're still retarded. You understand?
Transform into something else.
I never said that.
Nobody will take you seriously until you stop fighting against this non-existent phantom and have an adult conversation.
I am happy to have a conversation with you anytime.
There is no
Pickle! What's going on, bro? How you been, man? So some fucking news, dude. I just looked at my schedule today, and I work fucking tomorrow and Sunday. I didn't fucking know that. And also, the fucking From Software Showcase is live tomorrow. So I gotta pick between fucking wrestling and the showcase. Well, I doubt that Peacock would let me stream WWE anyway, but still, I still want to watch it.
ideology except the conservative propaganda you push that aims to erase transness from the face of the earth.
How I don't know how this is.
Propaganda you push that aims to erase transness from the face of the earth.
Propaganda that aims to erase transness from the earth, from the face of the earth. So you say it like it's a bad thing. Well, actually, I don't know what you mean by transness. Because transsexual people, as you know, normal behaving people aren't a problem. It's the weirdos like you that's the problem.
How I don't know how this is conservative propaganda to be pointing these things out.
You're like if a meme of a confused Keanu Reeves from Bill and Ted became a real person.
That's fair. I'll take that because that is how I feel right now for sure.
It is
They do look
physically
familiar.
impossible to
Similar.
explain this any more clearly, and instead of engaging with it, you're just making up a thing I didn't say.
You know why? Well, actually, he is engaging with what you're saying. What you're saying again is retarded, but like, he shouldn't. Like, I really hope this is the last time you talk to this man, Warren, because it seems like he's not gonna get anything. Like I said before, he argues like a dude from Twitter. Once he believes what he believes, that's it. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter, like, anything. He just wants to be right and virtue signal, I guess. Or I guess if what he believes is what he believes, but what he believes is fucking retarded. You shouldn't waste your time on it. Honestly.
Pathetic.
But when I have a student who transitioned 3 times, you're claiming that that student 100% of the time is doing so because of the structure of their brain. And I were to ask you, Professor Dave, does she have the trans brain? You would have to, according to your logic, concede, well, to female from male. Has her brain structure changed? To acknowledge that as a logical flaw doesn't mean that I don't want trans people to exist.
You are trying to erase their identity by denying its validity. So yes, you don't want trans people to exist.
In the doom phrasing, you want trans people to exist. No, they can exist. We just want them to exist in a way that doesn't hurt themselves or anybody around them, even to an inconvenience level. Like, it's more compassion to teach these people to love themselves as they are, rather than to change themselves to then love themselves, rather than to let them believe that they're not who they are, really who they are. You know what I'm saying? Well, where is it? There it is.
When you're the one claiming that they have abnormal brain structure as a justification. I'm the bigot. Okay.
Yeah, like I like conversations and debates. I'm not trying to say like not have debates with people, but some people you can just tell like this is gonna be a waste of fucking time. Even on the other perspective, if that's how you feel, then stop fucking talking about it, because you're sure as hell not gonna change his mind. But we have, what is this? How confused? Let me not do that, because we